from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Maria delivers a direct hit on Puerto Rico. 155-mile-an-hour winds knock out all power to the island. And massive storm surge turns the streets into raging rivers.
He was well known in his neighborhood, and those that knew him the best say he wouldn't stand for any drug dealers slinging in front of his house. But today, police say that's what may have caused his death.
Okay, Jason, but first we begin with a live look at Metro Airport as crews are pulling out soap dispensers in the bathrooms after what they call an unusual substance was found in the soap at several locations. Thanks for being with us. Now, exactly what that substance is has not been definitively identified because testing has not been done.
But sources are telling us no cause for panic, but still pretty gross. Mara McDonald live at the North Terminal where the bathrooms, I guess, are affected there. Mara.
Well, Devin, that's what sources are telling us, that the only bathrooms that were affected were here at the North Terminal, and the airport authority is telling us that because of this, they're pulling out all the soap dispensers and all the bathrooms and putting in something that's tamper-proof. Here's why.
Official word out of DTW this evening is this. Our public safety department is investigating an unusual substance found in a few of our soap dispensers last week. Now, that unusual substance they are referring to has not been tested because it was pretty apparent what it was according to sources. Likely a bodily fluid, but not confirmed because testing has not been done. And let's just say it's not spit.
To tamper with the soap, like, come on. Yeah, seriously. I would rather like mess with the paper towel dispenser or I don't know, take away all the toilet seat covers or something. Don't tamper with the soap.
Yep, gross. Why would anybody put anything in an airport soap dispenser? Well, investigators have a pretty good idea what the deal is, and it's nothing sinister, just somebody with ongoing access to the restrooms and a grudge. Since that substance was found, the airport is now in the process of taking out all the soap dispensers and replacing them with something tamper-proof, telling us, quote, the airport authority takes incidents involving health and safety very seriously.
Back here live, if you've been to the airport, you know that these bathrooms are monitored pretty closely after this. Airport is telling us they will be monitored even closer. We are live at Detroit Metropolitan Airport tonight at the North Terminal. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, thanks, Mara.
Well, if you needed proof of just how devastating Hurricane Maria is, it's this picture right here. Take a look. It was taken from the International Space Station last night, and you can just see how massive this storm was as it made a direct hit on Puerto Rico. And tonight, the mayor of San Juan says, quote, the San Juan we knew yesterday is no longer there.
That's how bad the situation is right now. Power to everyone on the entire island has been knocked out. That's more than 3 million people. A widespread flooding from the storm surge has been reported, with the storm slamming the island at Category 5 strength. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez is in Puerto Rico tonight. Gabe?
Puerto Rico is suffering a direct hit from Hurricane Maria. Here in San Juan, we have seen torrential rain and pounding winds throughout the morning, already now for several hours. The full extent of the damage has yet to be known, but San Juan's mayor is painting a dire picture. She says half of the city of San Juan is flooded, that there have been gas stations ripped apart. We have seen debris throughout the streets, trees toppled, and parts of buildings blown off. The concern right now is the storm surge here, but also the effect on this island's power grid. Much of the island is without power, virtually all of it at this point, and this comes just days after Hurricane Irma delivered a glancing blow here, but cut off power to about 75% of the island. You can see behind me that the winds are still heavy at this point. We are being spared the worst of it because of a concrete structure right here that's blocking the worst of these winds. But this is expected to continue for several more hours. Maria making landfall here in Puerto Rico as a Category 4 storm in the southeast part of the island, now working its way past this island. But again, the governor here says that this could be a catastrophic event. More than 10,000 people are in shelters, at least that's the reported number, but it's expected by authorities that the real number is much higher. The concern now is for those people that lived in wooden structures and in flood-prone areas. Did enough of them heed the warnings to get out? Back to you.
We certainly hope so. Our thoughts certainly go out to the folks of Puerto Rico. Now, the storm, where is it headed now? And is it still a Category, what, 3?
It was a Category 4 when it struck the island, the strongest hurricane to hit that island in almost 90 years, with winds of 155 miles per hour. It's still moving to the west-northwest, but it's so big, much of that hurricane still covering that island. Now, it's weakened a bit, Kimberly, with winds now down to 110 miles per hour. That's only because Puerto Rico itself is so big and the mountainous areas have helped to decay it just a little bit. But guess what? It's moving back over open water. See this area of red right here? This is a look at sea surface temperatures. When you have temperatures like this, in the 80s, 85, 86 degrees, boy, that means the storm is ripe for re-intensification. That means it will get stronger again, and it will. So it will become a Category 3, possibly briefly a Category 4 between now and Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Then as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, getting closer to the United States, but not quite. So far, remaining off the eastern seaboard and weakening to a Category 1 when it moves over cooler waters. But Category 1, still a hurricane of at least 75 miles per hour. And there's another tropical system, Jose, that may have an impact on Maria. We'll talk about that in a few moments. We'll also talk about our local forecast and how long it stays warm here in the metro area in just minutes.
Andrew, and yet another natural disaster to tell you about here. Chaos and destruction as a deadly magnitude 7.1 earthquake rocks central Mexico.
As of this evening, at least 225 people confirmed dead due to the earthquake, but hundreds more still unaccounted for, feared to be trapped underneath the collapsed buildings.
Van, a ver, acá hay niños, ayuden.
At this elementary school in Mexico City, you see community members coming together, forming human chains to remove debris from the school, as at least 30 students are believed to be trapped inside there. So this evening, search and rescue efforts continue, but Mexico finds itself on what will be a very long road to recovery. How many times we've said that about so many different events right now?
So hard to look at those pictures, too. Back here at home, police say a man who worked to take back his street was gunned down by a suspected drug dealer.
Happened this morning at a home on Rose Lawn, right in the area of Wyoming and Joy Roads. Jason Colthorpe spoke with neighbors who were shocked to hear the news.
There's still some questions as to exactly what happened at that house here this morning, but there's no question that the death of the homeowner who was shot this morning is going to leave an awful emptiness in this neighborhood.
Chris Hunt is a pillar, definitely a pillar of the neighborhood.
As neighbors and lifelong friends heard the news, there were a lot of hugs and people just shaking their heads over the death of Chris Hunt.
Just a lovable person. His smile, he plays the piano, he played the piano, he was always a showman, he was never afraid to sing.
He helped everybody with their cars. Everybody came to him. I mean, he could build a car from the ground up.
He also, according to his family, would not shy away from a bully. Police say the 22-year-old gunman in this case was a suspected drug dealer. Hunt's brother believes he was tired of him standing in front of his house dealing. The two argued, and a shootout in the backyard led to Hunt shot in the head in his basement, and the other man with a gunshot wound outside.
I am angry, very angry. But I know it's nothing I can do. You know, I got to keep a level head, but this draws the line here.
The grief and anger gave way as much as it could to a remembrance of the life of Chris Hunt, a man who spent most of his 54 years right here.
The neighborhood's handyman. Not a problem he couldn't fix, but we're going to miss him. The neighborhood is definitely going to miss him. And I love you, bro, and I'll see you when I get there.
Yeah, a lot of people out there able to share some stories about him and just talk about what a great loss this is. One of them, they said he was very proud of his collection of having every color of Converse All-Star high tops. And they just really miss this guy who's in the neighborhood. A long way to go with this investigation, of course, but for now, reporting live, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Yeah, and Jason, what is the condition of the gunman here?
At last check, he's in temporary serious condition. We haven't gotten an update. That was from this morning. And again, charges are expected, but still a little bit of investigating to go. A lot of the information right now still preliminary. Devin.
All right, Jason.
Okay, now to a story developing on the west side of the state. A Michigan State trooper has died after crashing his motorcycle. Trooper Timothy O'Neill died in the Plainfield Township crash. Happened shortly before 8 this morning. The accident involved a motorcycle and a GMC vehicle. Police say early indications are that the crash was not caused by a citizen. The husband of the woman who was driving the truck said his wife was stopped at a red light when the trooper rear-ended her. Police continue to investigate. Meanwhile, an investigation is underway after a house is set on fire in Detroit.
Home was set ablaze about 8 o'clock last night. This was on Waltham Street on the city's east side. And around 3 a.m., a car was torched just outside. But right now, police say they can't confirm that it was a firebombing because they haven't been able to discover yet just what the incendiary device that was involved was. Just getting started today on this Wednesday at 5.
That we are ahead in our next hour. We've got a lot coming up, including Rick Wershey finally in Florida. So why did it take him almost a month to get there? And Somerset Collection set to open a slew of new stores. We'll tell you about that. Nick?
You see that? That is what's left of a motorcycle club here on Detroit's west side. DTE still working on things as we speak. But what happened here? DTE says one thing, fire investigators say another. We'll have to figure out what the truth is.
Tonight, new at 6.
Using a shovel, tarps, an entire crew, and 3 dumpsters to clean out a filthy home on Detroit's west side where 2 kids were living.
Right. Yeah, they said I had to have 3 dumpsters here because there's that much stuff in the house.
The court officials say they've never seen anything like it. We have the very latest live on Local 4.
Okay, Sean, accidents happen, but scenes like this have become all too familiar through one home's front window. An overturned truck spilling bags of ice, just the latest in a series of crashes at this school bus stop. New at 6, the investigation into whether this local intersection is just too dangerous.
Now here at 5, we're hoping to know soon exactly what caused a motorcycle club on Detroit's west side to presumably explode early this morning.
The club is located on Dexter and Webb, not far from the lodge. But as Nick Monticelli reports tonight, information on what caused all of this destruction just isn't adding up.
So let's get the most important thing out of the way first. There was nobody inside of this club when it exploded or caught fire, so there are no injuries at all. Now, as to what happened, that is a much more difficult question to answer because there are 2 different sides of that story.
It just looks like to me that something inside exploded. I can't even imagine what it could possibly be.
There are many more questions than answers on Detroit's west side. How or why did a motorcycle club allegedly explode overnight? And who is going to figure this out?
We didn't lose the building. We lost, part of our family.
Shalise Brown is a member of the Street Royalty Motorcycle Club. Their building at Dexter and Webb no longer exists.
It's a family club. We've had members that have passed away from accidents and, cancer and stuff like that. We had a lot of personal items that belong to them. It's important. We've been here for in the area for about 8 years, and it's a lot of collection.
When firefighters got here around midnight, DTE crews had to shut off the gas. It was presumed this was caused by a gas leak. Now DTE is saying there's no indication of a gas leak. In fact, a crew member told Brown it's probably just a fire. However, Detroit arson investigators say it is more than just a fire. It could be what's called a low-order explosion. In a low-order explosion, the building would look like this. A high-order explosion, pieces of it would be blown across the street. Crews did spend a lot of time looking over the gas meter, though. We'll have to wait for the arson team to figure out exactly what happened. And while the why this happened is important to the club, they'd also like to start moving forward. The owner of the building is hoping to rebuild.
He's pretty positive about it. He said, let's just get with the insurance company and let's rebuild. So we're hoping that that's a possibility. It'd be a brand new building and a fresh start.
On Detroit's west side, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Nobody was inside when the building exploded, so fortunately nobody was hurt. A slew of new stores opening up at Somerset Collection before the end of the year.
They include a 2-level Zara store that'll be opening in mid-October. Another big name coming to the mall, Tesla. Now, they've already had some space in the Nordstrom store, but they're going to be adding a showroom on the north side. Also, Tappers opening a Rolex store, and several other new additions and food options on the list. We've posted them all at clickondetroit.com.
More ways to spend your money.
Spend your money just in time for the holidays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at new technology.
Well, we had
the iPhones. The Apple
exactly
Store.
right. Yeah. We had some of the water that a lot of folks needed, and we now cleared that out.
And the sunshine that a lot of folks also need and love, right? Well, we got more sunshine on the way for this weekend and even higher temperatures. We made up to 80 degrees. In fact, it's 81 right now, right here at the station. And later this evening, beautiful, comfortable sleeping weather, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Middle 60s in town. Metro zone, middle 60s also. Hello there, Clinton Township and Troy, where Somerset Mall is. 65 degrees right now if you want to do some shopping or you're going out to dinner or a show. Things are all set for you this evening and good conditions overnight. Overnight lows also in the mid 60s in our south zone, south of 94, west of 275. Howell, a temperature of 67 overnight. Quite mild by September standards, right? And the north zone, you know I always got you covered up north. Temperatures also in the low and middle 60s. And not a drop of rain in sight for this afternoon for your commute or later on tonight. 81 right now over at Metro Airport. Winds out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour, bringing in more of that warm air, and visibility is looking good. Beautiful blue skies overhead. Now, just a few moments ago, we talked about Maria. Right now, it's a Category 2 storm, but it will re-intensify because it's going back over warm waters, becoming a Category 1, but staying away from the United States. In fact, Jose, see this cluster here of tropical storm symbols and the letter L? Well, it will remain a tropical storm. It's got winds of 70 miles per hour, but with it meandering here off of Cape Cod, the winds around it are counterclockwise. So the winds might actually steer it away from the United States as we go into early next week. Remains to be seen, so keep it tuned right here to Local 4. Also, new hurricane layers on the Local Forecasters app. So download it now. It's free. Search WDIV in your app store. You can look at the same tracks that we do right here in the weather office. 82 right now for our friends in Pinckney. Temperatures 80 or more across much of southeast Michigan, and everyone is feeling these winds out of the south and feeling that warmer air. In fact, it's even hotter to our south and west. 92 for our friends in Chicago, 97 in St. Louis. That means higher temperatures for tomorrow around here. Maybe not quite 90, but pretty close, at least middle 80s with this warm sector of air remaining over us. And frontal systems all stay someplace else. Now, with it getting a touch more humid tomorrow afternoon, see this cluster of green right here? There might be an isolated shower just here and there around 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but overall remaining dry for your Thursday, and sunshine still remains in effect big time as we go into the weekend. So those higher temperatures. So to recap, the good news for you, happy to bring it. 65 degrees overnight tonight, middle and low 60s in your neighborhood. Sunset this evening on this Rosh Hashanah is at 7:34. 7:20 is the sunrise tomorrow, a high of 85 degrees in the afternoon, maybe an isolated shower, but not everyone gets one. So keep those after school programs and activities intact. Then as we go into Friday, fall still begins, whether it's 80s or not. 86 degrees, 85 to 86 on Saturday and Sunday. Feeling more like soccer weather rather than football weather, but the Lions still playing over at Ford Field. And we stay around 80 or a bit more early next week.
Not bad.
Not temperature contingent. Fall begins no matter what.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, let's check in with Blaine.
Day 3 for President Trump at the United Nations, meeting with world leaders, but also weighing in on healthcare push back home. I'm Blaine Alexander with more on the president's busy schedule.
All right, Blaine, but first, one of the big three making some big production cuts. A look at what hasn't been selling next.
Welcome back. The Ford Motor Company is cutting production at 5 North American assembly plants. The production shift will continue through the rest of this year since U.S. demand for new cars has slipped due to gasoline prices. The Michigan plants impacted are the Flat Rock plant, which makes the Mustang and Lincoln Continental, and the Michigan Assembly plant, which makes the Focus and C-Max small cars. Ford's U.S. sales dropped 4% through August compared to the same period a year ago.
Across Michigan today, a white-tailed deer tests positive for a troubling disease in Genesee County, EHD. It's a viral disease found in wild animals like white-tailed deer, mule deer, elk as well, and it's transmitted by a type of biting fly called a midge, and it can be deadly. Now, infection does not always result in the disease. There is no evidence that humans can contract the EHD virus, but it has authorities on alert. Up to the UP, where a person who vandalized the pictured rocks is hit with a hefty fine.
The visitor took out a knife and carved their name on a piece of wooden decking. Unfortunately for them, another guest at the park snapped a picture of the vandalism and turned them in. They were hit with a hefty $330 fine. Stephen Ross donates $50 million to the University of Michigan.
The Ann Arbor real estate developer and alum has donated a total of $378 million now to the university. The majority of the new gift will support career development programs for students, innovative action-based learning experiences such as student-run investment funds and new business ventures, and resources for attracting and developing junior faculty. Ross continues to be the single largest university donor.
New at 5:30.
Whether you clip them or download them, there are plenty of great coupon deals out there, but how do you get the most for your money? The experts revealing all in my Help Me Hank report.
So many of Detroit's downtown historic buildings are falling apart, the paint peeling, there's mold.
We got to start thinking big, because this is nice, but we got to make up for several decades here, right?
But all of this is going to change in a new major renovation downtown. We'll have the details of a project you've never seen the likes of.
Nearly a month after leaving his Michigan prison, the inmate known as White Boy Rick has finally made it to Florida. Where has he been and what's taken so long? You'll hear from Rick Wershey Jr. coming up.
The final chapter has begun in the Rick Wershey saga. After spending decades in a Michigan prison, White Boy Rick is finally in Florida to serve out his sentence. After a journey that took almost a month, Rick Wershey is in a Florida prison facility tonight.
Here's why it took so long to get there. He started at the Oaks Correctional Facility in Manistee. From there, went to the state prison in Milan. Third stop, the Federal Transfer Center, which is in Oklahoma City, kind of out of the way, of course. Then finally arrived at the Reception Medical Center in Lake Butler, Florida. Bring in defender Kevin Dietz, who has been talking with Wershey during these travels. Kevin, it did take a long time to make that trip.
It did. I talked to Wershey and he said he never knew where he was going or when or how long he would be there. Some of the delay may have been because of Hurricane Irma damage, but mostly it's to save money. They wait until there's enough prisoners that are going to the same place and then they move them.
Rick Wershey is finally in Florida. He left Oaks Correctional Facility in northern Michigan almost a month ago on August 22nd and just now checked into Florida Department of Corrections Reception and Medical Center in Lake Butler.
Oh, yeah, I'm great. I'm out of Michigan, so every day I'm one step closer to freedom, so I'm doing great.
I spoke with Wershey by telephone. He tells me he was never told when or where he would be traveling to. He was surprised to end up at Milan Federal Prison in Michigan. Then, 2 weeks later, he found himself on an airplane with several other prisoners headed to Oklahoma, where he was supposed to be held at the Federal Transfer Center. But due to overcrowding, he was booked into a county jail. 12 days later, he was on the move, this time to Florida. Officials won't say if Hurricane Irma delayed the trip, and it's not been determined which Florida prison Wershey will be assigned to once he clears medical tests. Wershey was paroled in Michigan after serving 29 years as a juvenile drug offender, breaking all records for length of incarceration in Michigan for a nonviolent juvenile offender. He's in Florida doing time for his part in a car theft ring he participated in from behind bars 11 years ago. Wershey says he looks forward to his release from Florida and appreciates all the support.
There's so many good people in the world that do care and think that I deserve a second chance and want to help me succeed in the second part of my life.
Wershey's official paperwork says he will not be released from that Florida prison until April 20th, 2021. But with good time, he's actually eligible to apply for early release in just a couple of months. Remember, a movie is being made about his life story. That comes out in January. Kevin Dietz, Defender.
And Kevin, I know you also sat down with the judge in charge of the Wershey case here in Michigan. Very unusual, I think, for a judge to speak publicly about one of their cases.
Yes, I was very surprised. Judge Dana Hathaway, she's in charge of the Wershey case here in Michigan. She had a lot to say. Tonight at 11, you're going to hear what she said. And a little tease, she said she believes that this is one of the greatest injustices she's ever seen come across her desk.
Fascinating. All right, Kevin, we'll see you tonight at 11.
A 36-year-old Detroit father received jail time today on child abuse charges in an accidental shooting. Police say on March 20th, Kong Q's 14-year-old son was shot in the stomach when his 10-year-old brother pulled the trigger. The boys found the unsecured gun in their father's bedroom. At the time of the shooting, Q was at work and the grandparents were home with the boys. During sentencing today, Q called it a mistake and said the boys knew better.
Just want to say all this, it's just a big mistake.
Kids will be kids. They knew what they did was wrong. They knew they weren't supposed to play with the guns.
Q is sentenced to 60 days in jail, 3 years probation. He must also complete parenting and gun safety classes.
Quicket Loans owner and Detroit booster Dan Gilbert just keeps plowing money into downtown development, but it's netting the promise of jobs, 24,000 in the next 5 years. But he had much more to add to that major announcement today. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney joins us now live downtown. So tell us the very latest and what these things we expect to come to the city.
Well, you know, this is sort of like the old song, the future's so bright you got to wear shades. At least that's what Dan Gilbert was explaining to us today at a press conference. But in reality, when he did the press conference here at the book building today, it's not really a newser. No, it's more like a drink from the fire hose briefing on the possibilities of Detroit's future. It's bright, but Gilbert promises it's just the beginning.
We got to start thinking big, you know, because this is nice, but we got to make up for several decades here, right?
Thus, you understand Dan Gilbert's sense of urgency to remake Detroit's skyline. So today he announced a still bigger and better Hudson's Tower that will cost even more than Little Caesars Arena. He spelled out an $830 million Monroe Blocks transformation with another 35-story office tower there at the center of a new mixed-use neighborhood. One Campus Martius, the old CompuWare building, is going to get a $95 million expansion and facelift next to the Hudson site. And finally, the Book Tower. It gets a $300 million plus overhaul, which will mean, in all, 15,000 construction jobs.
It's jobs, jobs, jobs. I mean, I know we're a private business and we're a profit-making business, but the more jobs we create, the more people buy houses and neighborhoods.
The Book is a century-old historic building that looks its age. This is what a cleaning has done to reveal the ornate architecture from the city's heyday. Inside, there's a musty, crusty mess, but a closer look reveals the ornate and beautiful interior Gilbert looks to restore. And while all of this will take 5 years, Gilbert is multitasking, happy to offer a war room of talent to go after the Amazon second headquarters.
I think Detroit is a legit contender to win over Amazon.
He says even big money consulting firms are, get this, volunteering to help him.
We either win this thing or we'll die trying.
Well, Gilbert told us that he has 30 to 40 people working 24/7 trying to get Amazon to come here. And he also said that he's working with Windsor, and we've heard reports about that, but he's working with Windsor to try and get sort of an international flavor to the whole thing. And he says Detroit has a lot of advantages that Detroit and make that New York and Chicago and Boston don't have, and it's largely a lot of space. And so he says they do have things competitively that we don't, and he says he's working on that, but competition, being competitive as we go forward, is going to be the key, and that, in large measure, is what he's working on. Back to you.
Now, Rod, the construction numbers clearly are impressive, but with all you talked about, there has to be more.
Well, yeah, there are jobs. When he was talking about jobs, we're talking about 9,000 people working downtown in addition to what are already here. One of the other things he talked about was getting people to move into the city and live in the city. He talked about how he's got 17,000 employees downtown, and when he did this, 7 years ago, he only had like 75 people living here. He says he now has 4,000 people living in the city that work for him. And so that's what he wants to spread, he says. He wants to keep this momentum going, and he says that Detroit is really just getting underway here, and that's what he wants to make sure keeps happening.
Moving into the city is definitely key. All right, thank you, Rod.
After his major address yesterday, President Trump spending another day at the United Nations meeting with world leaders, while back in Washington, the Republican effort to repeal and replace Obamacare getting new life, it appears. Blaine Alexander has the latest from the Capitol. Blaine.
Well, Devin, President Trump is meeting with a number of world leaders throughout the day, and he's hitting on some of the same major points as he did during his speech yesterday. But now he's working behind the scenes to turn those words into action. Another day of UN diplomacy for President Trump. One day after calling the Iran nuclear deal an embarrassment, he says he has made up his mind on whether to end it.
Well, I have decided.
But would not say what that decision is. Iran's president said the agreement should not be scrapped by, quote, rogue newcomers, but stopped short of calling out President Trump by name. Here with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas, President Trump sounding upbeat on Middle East peace.
Who knows? Stranger things have happened. but I think we have a good chance.
And after threatening to destroy North Korea, today a less ominous message.
We must all stand together and be accountable in implementing United Nations sanctions and resolutions.
While making the rounds at the UN, on Twitter, President Trump backing a renewed push to repeal Obamacare, with the fight over pre-existing conditions once again center stage.
So we're going to give flexibility to cover sick people, but sick people will be covered.
Today, former President Obama weighed in with rare public comments on his namesake policy.
And people are alive today because of it, and that's progress.
Democrats vowing to stop the new plan at all costs.
This is really an emergency. It's all hands on deck.
While Republican leaders say they hope to vote on this next week. And if Republicans cannot pass this by the end of the fiscal year, that's next week, the number of votes they'll need goes up from 51 to 60, essentially making it impossible to pass. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine. Also, Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price has apparently shifted his thoughts on private jets.
This is a pretty hot topic. Back in 2009, Price appeared on CNBC bashing the government's use of private jets and tweeting, quote, "Congress doesn't need to have private jets," end quote. But just last week, Price took 5 separate flights on private jets in just 3 days, including one round trip from Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia. These trips alone likely costing $60,000, and it is possible that American taxpayers are the ones that picked up the tab. 5 college football players are facing criminal charges tonight in a brutal attack on a fellow teammate.
Yeah. Kyler Craigle, a senior from Grand Rapids, turned himself in last night, followed by Noah Spielman, the son of former Detroit Lions linebacker Chris Spielman, and other players are expected at the Wheaton Police Department in Illinois sometime this week. All 5 young men are accused in a brutal student hazing in March of 2016. The accuser said the boys attempted to shove an object in his rectum. Wheaton College released a statement saying corrective action was taken. Attorneys for the victim, though, are challenging that statement.
The discipline. Suspension from school, kicked out of school, suspended off the football team, kicked off the football team. None of those things happened.
All 5 of the accused are facing felony charges. Wayne State Police make a special stop today. Writing tickets? Well,
Sort of.
Sort of.
Maybe at 5:30, what they were handing out in hopes of keeping students safe.
also, it's your chance to own a small piece of the Joe, the unusual bit of memorabilia going up for sale that is sure to sell out fast. Hank?
A trip to the grocery store can really add up, and we know coupons can help save you some money. But are you really saving as much as you could? The experts reveal all in my Help Me Hank report.
Our favorite show is finally returning to NBC, so we are getting you ready for This Is Us.
Sometimes in marriage, someone has to be the one to push to make the big moves.
The first season left us with so many cliffhangers. Will Randall and Beth adopt a third child? What's the state of Jack and Rebecca's marriage? Will we finally find out how Jack died? And we'll also take a look at how this show has captured America's heart. An inside look at the return of This Is Us tomorrow on Local 4 News at 5.
Coming this new at 6.
Como's restaurant in Ferndale. The sign says it's open, but when you check the front door, it's locked. We'll tell you why it's probably a good thing that steak night ain't gonna happen.
Plus, why the key to making a diet work may be a little time off. We've got new research that goes beyond the cheat day.
Time off on a diet. I like the sound of that. Fruits, vegetables, meat, paper towels, all those things add up on a weekly basis when you're shopping for a family. There is an easy way to save hundreds of dollars, but of course it takes a little clipping.
Yes, our Hank Winchester has some tips on how to save big with couponing. If you're heading to the grocery store this week, hi Hank.
Whether you clip them or you download them onto your phone, the one thing that we know for sure is that coupons can save you money here at the grocery store. But the experts say there is a way you can cash in and save even more. For Chandra Johnson, her love of coupons is more than just a hobby, it's a money-saving necessity.
At one point in my life, I was a single parent with 3 children, and I just wanted to maximize my dollar.
And pretty soon, she was saving big money.
I would say about $3,000 to $5,000 a year. There's a strategy to it, and I learned that strategy, and I monopolized that strategy.
Nora Capchi is a mom, and like many moms out there, she's using the money she saves to supplement her income.
Shopping for a family of 4, I usually spend about $50 a week.
We asked both ladies to share their expertise and how you can get the biggest bang for your buck. Step 1, don't waste your time clipping every single coupon. Only clip exactly what you need. You can stash them until those items go on sale.
You keep the insert anywhere from 30 to 90 days.
Or you can go digital. Use an app like Crazy Coupon Lady or Flip. It is easy and it saves you time. That leads us to strategy number 2, maximize your savings.
The biggest part of couponing is taking the sales that are advertised in the stores and combining that with a coupon on top to save the most money.
Nora showed us how she stacks her coupons on top of store sales.
For all of this, I paid $20. This is how I did it. I used a coupon for these. This was a buy 2, get 1 free promotion from the store, and I used a coupon on 2 of those. These mascaras are originally $11.99 each. They were on clearance for $2.99, and they had a promotion, buy 1, get 1 50% off.
Total savings $135. And the final strategy, never pay full price for essential personal items. Never.
Always combine those with a sale and a coupon to save the most money.
And we have more tips from the experts, ways that you can save even more as you hit the store. We'll put all that information for you on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
By the way, it is important to note, coupon experts say, don't get discouraged if you're not saving hundreds of dollars right off the bat. The key is to start saving small, and that leads to bigger savings.